remember when I got this book this time 2 years ago? Yeah, it's taken me that long to finish. So anyway, I finally finished it. Whew, so I ended up listening to it because I think it was a lot easier than reading that thick piece of report. Like, don't get me wrong, I love nonfiction. As you guys could see, I jump genres, not a problem. But some things are just better on audio. And I will say I'm a little bit pickier when it comes to nonfiction. What's best on audio and what's not. This is one of those cases where if I was reading it, well, I started reading it in paperback and I started zoning out. Like 2 years to finally finish this. So I got it on audio and I finally finished it. I was able to like zip through it at that point. Now, if you've watched the hearings, you kind of know what happens. So I did read this, and then I ended up reading Enough by Cassidy Hutchinson, which I posted the review already. I read that after this, but it's very interesting to see the reports. So this is everything that they found. This includes like the videos and all of that. Like, you can't see the videos, but it to see the insurrection, to remember January 6th, 2020, and then to watch the hearings, to watch everything. And, now we're going back into the election with Trump being the Republican candidate is, in my opinion, scary. Now, do I think that Trump has a chance of winning? A slim chance. I think he has a slim chance. Which is why I'm going to say that I think everyone who can and, who's over the age of 18 and is a citizen, whether you can vote, go do so. Please go vote. Like, I will also recommend listening to or reading books on politics will definitely, be eye-opening. On both sides of the aisle, there are some books that I will say that I'm kind of hesitant to read, at least for right now, just because I feel I don't want to support that person, or I'm afraid of what they're going to say. Because, like, once, for example, with J.D. Vance, once he came out as Trump's running mate this time around, I've seen his books be posted on Amazon, and I'm like, I don't really want to read his books right now. Maybe in 5 years, I can annotate it, whatever, but like right now is probably not the best time. I will say I will read Bob Woodward's. I've read one of his works. I do want to read more of them, not just the Trump ones, but he has others. Which The President's Men, which was mentioned in Enough by Cassidy Hutchinson. It became her like Bible when she was going through the hearings and testifying for the insurrection. So I will say that, very interesting. Even though I don't know how to explain this, like, to see very few Republicans like Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, make ties with Democrats for the best of our country. And I know a lot of Republicans will be like, but they're problematic people. They put policies aside and they did what was best for the country. Like, I will say that. I don't agree with their policies. I don't even agree with all of the Democratic policies. And I will say, you know, again, in this video, don't be a one-issue voter, okay? Because I find that when we tend to do that, we tend to be selfish, and we don't tend to think of the implications for all people, right? Listen to minority communities. Of course, it's going to be on both sides, but listen to what they have to say. Make informed decisions. You know, do your research and vote. Okay, make sure you're registered and go vote. But also, I want you guys to be careful, because I'm in a red area. Even though I'm in New York, I'm in a pretty red area. I'm not going to be going out. Like, we're going to be on our property for the most part. You know, if I have to go get groceries, that's one thing, but like, we're not going to do any activities that week. We're going to just play it by ear. So anyway, I recommend, if you haven't watched the hearings, definitely reading the book, or I should say listening to it. It will be a lot faster to read the book or listen to the book on audio. But I think it's very important to keep up with the politics. I don't think there's any way that you can stay out of politics. Politics end up being part of every aspect of our lives, you know, from our jobs to education to the justice system, etc., right? Like, even art is politics. Even though I know there's many book talkers that say, like, they just want fantasy and they want to get away from it. The thing is that there's always going to be some underlying thing. You may want to ignore it, but the truth of the matter is, it's there. Anyway, that is what I have to say. I'm going to give it, I'll give it 5 stars just because it's very informative. Like I said, better on audio. I couldn't keep concentrating on the paperback, so it took me 2 years to finish. But definitely a read that I think people should, we should acknowledge what happened and really look at the evidence. So that's what I have to say.